Welcome. My name is Mike Fegis, and I'm a teacher from Hudson Middle School. I would like to welcome everyone to the PenOhio tournament environment. If you have any questions about your particular tournament site, please be sure to talk to your tab room supervisor. This training video is going to address the duties of all tournament judges. After the registration and morning meetings have taken place, judges will report to their judging areas. Begin by taking attendance to make sure that all of the writers are present. Writers are allowed to have a paper dictionary and thesaurus, but they cannot access electronic versions of these reference books using a mobile device. The use of electronic devices is strictly prohibited. Mobile phones need to be shut off and out of sight. Setting phones to vibrate mode is not acceptable, since a quiet writing environment needs to be maintained at all times. Once the writing begins, there will be no critiquing tasks to complete yet. At this time, it's a good idea to fill out certain parts of the official ballots to save time later. Judges can write the name of the tournament site, the round number, their code number, and their signature on each ballot. Judges will score 5 or 6 pieces of writing per round, depending on the number of writers registered. Judges should strive to finish evaluations of each round of writing within a 40-minute period. The judging of round 1 will take place while the writers are engaged in round 2 writing. Likewise, the judging of round 2 pieces will occur while round 3 writing is in session. Judges will evaluate the round 3 pieces after the students have completed their writing duties for the day. PenOhio evaluates student writing using a holistic model. A holistic evaluation guide is included in the judges' folders for guidance. When scoring pieces, judges should look at how the entire paper addresses the prompt. Holistic scoring centers on the overall impact that the piece of writing has on the reader. Judges always need to keep the goal of the prompt in mind while scoring. These students are excellent writers, so it's possible for them to write a beautiful piece that is not on topic. If it is difficult to see the meaning of the prompt in the student's response, try to look for a more abstract, figurative interpretation of the prompt. Give as much latitude as you can. If judges don't think the prompt was addressed, then they have to score the writing accordingly. The next set of instructions is the step-by-step procedure for scoring a round. When all of the writing for a particular round has been gathered, a judge will start by reading the first piece in the group. This becomes the first place piece. After reading the next piece, the judge decides whether this writing is more or less impactful than the first piece. Assign the ranks as needed. This process continues until all of the pieces in the group have been ranked. Once the ranks have been determined, it is time to use the holistic evaluation guide located in the judging folder to determine the quality point values. Remember that the quality point evaluation guide is ranked such that the categories at the top of the chart should have more weight than the ones toward the bottom. The most important aspects of student writing are creativity, writer voice, and strong story structure. Figurative language and sentence structure are also important to consider. The language used should be beautiful, and it should enhance the world and the characters that the writer has created. Notice that mechanics are at the bottom of the holistic list. Do not judge improper paragraphing, dialogue punctuation, poor handwriting, or other mechanical errors too harshly, since these pieces are draft quality writing. High quality points should be assigned to clever pieces that address the prompt, stay on target, develop nicely over the course of the narrative, and finish with a strong, satisfying conclusion. Always remember that high rank point scores do not have to be matched with equally high quality point scores. It's very possible that all of the pieces in the round might be only honors level writing, which would earn scores between 93 and 82 points. If so, assign quality points accordingly. Use the guidelines in the judges folder to help make those determinations. It is very important to remember that rank points and quality points cannot be duplicated within a round. Rank points and quality points must be awarded in descending order. Quality points of 99 and 100 are of the highest quality and should be rather rare. Likewise, quality points between 79 and 75 points should be equally rare. When filling out the ballots, write the title of the piece at the top. If the ballot has no title, write untitled. Keep the room quiet during writing time. Again, no electronics should be seen at all. When making comments on student writing, remember that most of these writers are going home with only the judge's comments. Thoughtful critiques are one of the most important aspects of this tournament. Students that receive lower rank or quality point scores are particularly interested in feedback, since these scores suggest to the writers that their pieces needed work. Please make every effort to provide feedback that will help the writers improve their craft. A paper that receives a rank score of 4 and a quality point score of 83 leaves the writer knowing that the piece needed work in some way. If the judge's comments do not address the aspects of the writing that need strengthening, the writer will not be able to improve. There are 2 suggested methods for providing writers with significant feedback. The first method is called 3 pluses and a wish. Identify 3 positive aspects of the paper and then inform the writer of a wish for the piece, something that was missing that would have strengthened the overall impact of the writing. Another method is called the sandwich method. Start off with a positive comment, place a constructive criticism in the middle, and then end the critique with another positive comment. When making constructive comments, avoid telling writers what they missed or didn't do or should have done. Phrases like, "What I would like to have seen is," turn your comments into a conversation between writers rather than a condemnation from expert to novice. Next, let's talk about the elements of good writing. What should you expect? First and foremost, this is a competition that encourages excellent writing. Vague, philosophical, or abstract writing often lacks the specificity necessary to create an emotional impact on the reader. The strongest pieces will have a clear, strong, emotional impact. Judges are looking for writing that moves the reader. It's more than just cleverness, since many of these kids are clever. The best writings will stir something within the audience. Student writing must adhere to the topic presented in the prompts. A wonderful story that is off-topic cannot earn top marks. Part of the challenge of PenOhio is to write effectively regardless of the prompt. Creative dexterity is an important component of writing prowess. In addition to a solid central idea, the top pieces will feature eloquent, mature language. Specificity and clarity are critical. Writing that is vague will not convey powerful images or emotions. Bold, vivid language is necessary in tournament writing. Be mindful of the thesaurus trap. This is when writers are trying to improve their pieces by using a thesaurus, but they don't fully understand the nuance of the synonym they're choosing. The differences between the 2 words can be subtle but important in the context of the writing. Judges should look closely at the sentence structure in each piece too. Well-written pieces will feature a variety of sentence types. Excellent writers will use a combination of simple and complex sentences to create rhythm as well as a solid narrative. While there are no length requirements placed on a piece of tournament writing, it's very difficult to produce award-winning prose in only a page or a page and a half of writing. To develop characters, settings, symbols, dialogue, and conflicts effectively, writers will need to use their time effectively and produce enough writing to achieve those goals. Judges need to be on the lookout for pre-written pieces. Pre-written pieces will not actually be smuggled into the writing rooms on a piece of paper or an electronic device. The writer will have had a good idea for a story at some point, and he will have that idea in his head when the writing round begins. Pre-written pieces will likely be of good quality since the writer has developed the story ahead of time, but these pieces will feel shoehorned in, like the shape of the story doesn't quite fit the shape of the prompt. While it may be hard to do, these stories must be evaluated honestly, and their scores must reflect that the writer missed the mark. An excellent story that does not address the prompt cannot receive a high score. Make sure that the elements required for a particular type of writing are present in the pieces. For example, if the prompt asks writers to create a narrative, then the student writing should include a clear plot, rising action, a climax, and some kind of resolution. If the prompt asks students to describe something, then the pieces should include rich sensory detail and excellent figurative language. As difficult as it can be at times, judges need to strive to avoid being moral censors. Some student writing may address difficult issues that the judges do not agree with, But the goal of the tournament is to identify excellent writing that is on topic and is moving. Judges need to leave personal biases at the door as well. Pieces written in a particular genre that judges do not personally enjoy should be evaluated even more carefully. Personal preferences should never impact evaluations. If the writing is strong, if the central idea is clear and consistent, and if the piece is stronger than those around it, then that piece must receive high marks. Finally, impact on the reader should hold the most weight of all of the judging criteria. If the piece sticks with the reader in a meaningful, sincere way, then it must be among the top pieces in that round when the scoring is complete. The organizers of PenOhio want to thank all of the writers, coaches, judges, and volunteers for taking the time and spending the effort to help young writers indulge their passion for writing.
Thank you for participating today. We invite you to become engaged in PenOhio and partners like Tri-C and the Mandel Center. Together, we can support world-class writers here in Ohio.